In this modern society, very few people can say that they have truly suffered to a point that they have to make changes, especially in this world that we live in nowadays. A lot of people are very sheltered. Those of us who have gone through very hardships can tell you that that suffering actually shaped us to be who we are today. A lot of folks refer to the Civil War and how things happen and how they change people. But not a lot of people actually live through that, or those who live through that, they already passed. A lot of folks go back and they say, well, in the Great Depression, my grandparents used to do this. But you are now 2 generations removed from that. And it's hard for you to understand what your grandparents went through because honestly, you didn't go through it. And let me explain why I'm saying all of this, because there is a point of what I want to say. But before we do that, if you don't mind, please do share this video. And this should be an awakening call for a lot of folks. Nonetheless, like I said before, those of you who had grandparents throughout the Great Depression, you are 2 generations, probably 3 generations removed from that time. Your grandparents who lived through the Great Depression went through a great deal of pain, went through a pain of loss. They literally lost, or things were taken away from them. They made them change. They went through pain of hopelessness. They believe nothing can make a bad situation better. They went through the pain of abandonment, meaning that they felt that nothing in the world can come and help them. They felt abandoned by their government. They felt abandoned by their loved ones. They felt that they couldn't reach and grab hope. So that trigger grief, that trigger, like I said, loss, sadness, rejection, betrayal. They felt an extreme pain of betrayal, and that shattered the foundation of trust. People who went through the Great Depression did not have any trust in the government. They didn't. And that right there was actually the reason why many actually survived. Because they looked and they're like, you know what? We are here alone and we have to make it through. The problem with all of this is their children will shield in a way from that experience, because as a parent, you don't want your children to struggle as much as you did. So you shield your kids from those experiences, from that pain. And of course, you as a new parent shield your kids even more, meaning that the second generation now has zero idea of what pain really is. Now, in normal circumstances, this is not a bad thing. You want to shield your kids from pain. I shield mine from as much pain as I can. I was born and raised in Cuba. I went through the pain of loss. I lost my country. I lost my home. I went through the pain of hopelessness. When I got here with absolutely nothing. I have no idea how I was going to make it. I have family here, but that meant absolutely nothing for me. This family that I haven't seen in years and years. Strangers, if you want to put it that way. I felt abandoned in a country that I knew nothing of. Nothing. Everybody had to go to work. Nothing that I would say was making sense, because I came here with a different mindset and I had to get acclimated to everything. I felt loss, anger, and I questioned myself over and over why this happened to me. Why? Never felt that I was betrayed because they did what they brought me over because it was either that or I would die. But I did feel betrayed by the people that I left behind because everybody refused to fight. They saw the problem, but they refused to fight. And that betrayal left me with very deep scars. When I felt that I was betrayed because they refused to fight with me. A lot of them did refuse to fight with me for a better home. My home taken from me, and my friends didn't want to fight because they didn't want to cause any problems, and I didn't understood that. My thing was like, this is our home, it's taken from us. How can you not fight? Well, they didn't want to. And I felt betrayed. I felt angry for a very long time. So I have experienced all of those pains. That had led me to be who I am today. The pain that I have suffered and the pain that your grandparents who lived through the Great Depression have suffered make them better, make them tough, make them survivors. Unfortunately, because people do not know what pain is nowadays, they don't have the chances to rise to that threshold. Everybody can come and say, well, if they did it, I can do it. Real life is a lot different than reading it in a book. I can tell you right now that my son, although I tell him stories all the time, don't know what hardships are. He does not know what a hardship is. He does not know the pain of loss. He does not know the pain of hopelessness. He does not know the pain of abandonment. He does not know what betrayal is. He has never gone through it. He has been shielded from that. We, as parents, thrive for a better future. We do not want our kids to suffer. None of us do want our kids to suffer. However, due to this mindset, the future generations are now suffering. And they are suffering because they do not have the first-hand knowledge of what is going to happen. But when we have generations, they have no idea what true suffering is, what true pain is. Well, they start making things up. They start believing in fairy tales and whatnot. And they think that their utopia is what true reality is. I am here to tell you that that is dangerous. Very dangerous. And why I'm saying this is dangerous because they start living in a fantasy. And they don't consider that, well, life happens. And this type of things are going to happen. Not all of them at once. Very few people experience it, all of them, to tell the truth. But by not experiencing any, they make themselves weaker, if you will, suffer. They become more childlike. They live in an eternal fantasy of video games and things that are not real. Most folks nowadays escape reality into TV, Facebook, Instagram, even YouTube. They come into the online world where they seek ratification for their meaningless life. They kiss a frog and everybody, yay, you're so awesome, yay. there's nothing awesome about kissing a frog. But people have nothing else because they have not gone through any hardship. They don't know what good is. They believe they know what bad is, but they really have no idea what bad is because they have not experienced it. I'm saying all of this, y'all, so you all can understand one thing. I'm trying to find my words because this topic is not easy at all to discuss. But what I'm trying to say is that you need to really hear those people who have gone through hardships in life and take notes and understand that when they say something, you should listen. You should listen because they have firsthand experience. Those people with firsthand experience are really hard to come by nowadays. Really hard. And when they tell you, hey, there might be something wrong with everything going on in this world. Well, how about you stop doing whatever heck you're doing, something that is not meaningful at all, and you think for 1 second, well, maybe these people are like my grandparents who survived the Great Depression. Maybe these people have something more important to say than that stupid TikTok video that I was just watching about cats licking themselves. These people are telling me that something bad is coming. These people are telling me that the world is in turmoil right now. These people are telling me that if I don't put a little bit of rice away, I might be in hardships tomorrow. These people are telling me that our government is looking for any excuse to take our rights away, to enslave us, to take our hard-earned money and send it overseas because it's more important to finance other people than our own people. These people with real life experience are telling me that I have no idea what hardships are. Maybe I should listen, and maybe I should look back and see how many hardships have I really gone through. How many? And remember those times, and remember what could I have done better to not be in that situation. If you do that, I guarantee you that you will be better off tomorrow. But today, I have to tell you, 99% of the people, 99% of the people are really not considering that suffering is in our future. Only 1% are considering that. And that 1% is probably you who are listening right now. You who are considering what's around you. You who are thinking about the tomorrow. You are probably the one who's going to be on top when the shit really hits the fan. Thank you all for listening. I hope you get something out of this video. These videos are not easy for me to make, to tell you the truth. But with that being said, I do hope you have a great one. Like I always, rock on, prep on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.